Hello, I'm a college football guy here on the video. Yeah, I'm here in the sleeper. It's early in the morning, but I got found out, excuse me, where I'm delivering today. They got to hand unload the trailers, so it's going to be a while before they get unloaded. I'm already here in Wisconsin to deliver, but I got to wait until they hand unload me, and it's going to take till probably 6 hours to get me unloaded, so I'm hoping I'll be parked and done for the day before the national championship game tips off, but we will see. But this is the preview and prediction for the national championship, Georgia versus TCU. So first and foremost, let's get the housekeeping out the way. Everyone, please hit the thumbs up, smash the like button. Helps with the algorithm, helps the video be seen by more people. Comment on the video. I love interacting with everybody. Subscribe to the channel. On our way to 300 subscribers and see if we can get there. Now, I went a lot more in depth on this one for statistics. Georgia is a 12.5-point favorite. Well, we're going to do comparison for stats here, one by one. TCU first, then Georgia. TCU is 5th in scoring at 41.1 points per game. Georgia is 8th in scoring at 39.4. TCU is 64th in scoring defense at 26.4 points per game. Georgia's 5th in scoring defense at 14.8 points per game. That's a big margin. TCU is 29th in passing, 269.6 yards per game. Georgia's 15th in passing at 293 yards per game. Excuse me. TCU is 92nd in pass defense at 243.2 yards per game. Georgia's 65th at 224.6 yards per game. Advantage Georgia. TCU is 20th in rushing, 204.5 yards per game. Georgia's 23rd in rushing, 201.9. So that's pretty close. It's only less than 3 yards apart. TCU is 70th in rush defense at 152.1 yards per game. Georgia is 2nd in rush defense at 80 yards per game. Wow. I apologize for this, but it's just waking up now, so forgive me. Leading players here. Max Duggan for Tennessee. Max Duggan for TCU, 32 touchdowns, 6 INTs, 3,546 yards. Stetson Bennett, 23 for Georgia, 23 touchdowns, 7 INTs, 3,822 yards. Around the same ballpark. There's less touchdowns, more INTs on Stetson Bennett's part, but more yardage. TCU, here's the advantage they have. Kendre Miller, 1,399 yards rushing, 17 touchdowns. Georgia's leading rusher is Kenny McIntosh, 779 yards rushing, 10 touchdowns. Big difference there. Leading receiver for TCU, Quentin Johnson, 1,066 yards and 6 TDs. Georgia's leading receiver, tight end Brock Bowers, 790 yards, 6 TDs. Well, leading receiver statistically is better, and leading rusher is better. Quarterback's better statistically. Let's get into some statistics here that I think is kind of important here. Third down completion percentage. Third down percentage. Because this is going to be important in these games. This is going to be tight. TCU is 47 in third down percentage. 41.1% successful. 41%, 1% of the time they get it. Georgia is 8th in third down percentage at 49.7%. That's big. Third down defense. TCU is 35th at 34.5%, which means 5% of the time the opposing team is successful. Georgia is 2nd in third down defense at 27.1%. Let's talk red zone offense. TCU is 69th in red zone offense, 83.3% success rate. 83.3% of the time they score. Georgia in red zone offense is number 1, 97.4%. Don't let them get in the red zone. They will score on you. Red zone defense. Where are we at here? They already mentioned red zone defense. Where's red zone defense? TCU is, 60th in red zone defense, 82.7% success rate. Georgia, first in red zone defense. 66.7% success rate for the opposition. So they score they're number one in scoring in the red zone, and they're number one in allowing the most in the red zone, least chances. Yikes. Let's talk about penalties, because this may prove to be key in this game. TCU, 33rd in fewest penalties, 67 on the year. Georgia's 22nd in fewest penalties with 62. Okay. Penalty yards, fewest penalty yards. TCU 74th with 694. And Georgia's 53rd with 643. Fewer penalties, fewer yards. Okay. But they're both averaging about a little over 10 yards a penalty. Not quite 11, but a little over 10 yards a penalty. So they're about the same in that category. Turnover margin. Here is where TCU has the advantage. TCU in turnover margin is 20th, plus 0.64. Not quite more than one turnover a game. They're more than half a turnover a game more. Like, basically, if you gave up 20 turnovers a game, you had 30. That's 0.5 more. You had 40, that'd be one more. You get it? For 20, double. That's how that works. All right. Turnover margin, Georgia's 79th at negative 0.14, which means they turn it over more than they get. That could be a key statistic in this game. Now, injuries. Kendre Miller, leading rusher, is still questionable for this game due to his injuries. Offensively, that's the only injuries they have, TCU. They have 3 players out, but they've all been out from earlier in the year. Thomas Armstrong, the linebacker, with an ACL injury. Linebacker Marcel Brooks and wide receiver Quincy Brown, all out for the year. Georgia injuries, a lot more. Tight end Daryl Washington and offensive tackle Warren McClendon are both questionable. Wide receivers Mitchell and McConkey are both probable. For defensively, linebacker Chaz Chambliss is questionable. Defensive lineman Michael Williams is questionable. Linebacker Marvin Jones is questionable. Jalen Carter, the man among boys in defensive line, is probable. Linebacker Robert Beal is probable. And they have 2 players who were out from the beginning of the year, and that's a safety, Den Jackson, and linebacker Braylon Smith. So there's a lot more injuries on this. TCU has been known for somehow, some way getting it done. They've never faced a defense like this all year. But I don't think Georgia's ever faced a team with a never say die attitude like this all year. So Georgia's favored by 12.5 points. With all this being said, I'm picking Georgia to win the national championship. I'm a bit of an SEC homer, but I don't think they're covering. Everybody said they're going to win by 4 touchdowns. I think this could be a field goal game. I think we can be good for a great national championship and another nail-biter. But I'm picking Georgia to win back-to-back national championships. The Stetson Bennett era will be over in Georgia. And Alabama, Georgia, and a lot of teams, including Tennessee, is be looking for a new starting quarterback. So I think Tennessee's in better position than either one of those two, especially Bama. But let me know down in the comments what your prediction are for the national championship. Who do you think's going to win this? Now, after this, had an idea. We had one about best bowl games, best regular season games. It's got to be the Baylor King suggestion. I think I'll be doing that one. But I also had an idea for something. Was doing a top 10 list based on real life, not on the subscriber rankings that I do for subscribers, but NCAA. Of the subscriber schools we have, top 10s, passing yards, rushing yards, passing yards, rushing yards, points per game allowed, a few statistical categories, key ones, and see who in real life of the subscribers of the schools we have, what's the top 10. Is that an idea you'd like me to do for a video? I'm just throwing it out there as an idea. So, because tomorrow's video is going to be, of course, the recap of the national championship game. We're going to have the AP top 25. I'm not worried about it. We're going to be doing the day after that's going to be my top 25. And then the final subscriber ranking show of the year There's going to be the bowl records, which is the conference records of that. We got a few things to take care of. Not to mention the fact that transfer portal's probably going nuts. Wouldn't surprise me if some more coaches get fired or opt for new jobs. Who knows? But let me know what you think down in the comments. So thanks everybody for watching this video. Hope everybody has a great Monday morning. Thanks everyone. Be safe out there. And please, be good to each other.